you may leave this island unharmed. Now, Godwoken, you have a course. There is less than nothing for you on this bloody rock. My esteemed advice is that you leave. Immediately, if not sooner. It is something of a relic. A relic that has had its spirit defiled by the Black Ring. Now, I have work to do. This place must be cleansed, it must be healed. And you must surely know that your welcome is wearing thin.
Oh, that was a close fight. A little high. It's been a couple weeks. Let's see. What's this stuff? So I happened to update OBS before starting today, and they have a new thing that tells you how many frames you've dropped, basically a measure of packet loss, and Comcast is dropping 20%. That is absurd. I see the packet getting dropped very frequently. All I can do is hope it clears up. I mean, I could restart my computer. That tends to clear up some connection issues. But that would be stopping restarting the stream. Okay, this is... So this is Divinity Original Sin 2. A game that Nerva gifted me, and I very much enjoy. You could akin it to D&D in video game form.
Can you feel it? The twisted pain. It's everywhere.
They didn't die quietly. How satisfying.
Okay, yeah, I'm serious to talk to.
Looks around with wild panic, clawing through its spectral mass with fevered nails.
The demon feeds. The demon feeds from the ring. The demon protects. We must know what the demon protects. The demon has an advocate. The advocate kills. The demon has a secret. We must know the secret.
Okay, now this blue hue also means that tree is a spirit thing, so that's just
Godwoken, this tree is beyond sacred and is not for your mortal hands. I am doing what I can to heal it. You would be wise to do what you can and leave.
okay, pop that up in. I'll run around to see if there's any lingering spirits of those that I just killed, besides that one main guy. Alright, let's replenish our source then. Curious, if I consume the body the spirit came from, does that also consume the spirit? Oh, I'm going to find out. It does.
twisted pain. It's everywhere.
One more source point. You. Hello, Alyssa. Long time no see. Wait, a chest inside of a... Oh, how neat. Alright. We'll empty it, and I guess we can just send this back to the ship. Yeah, so there's an OBS, which is now giving me an idea of how much packets are dropped during stream, and Comcast is dropping roughly 20%. Completely unacceptable amount, but I don't have much I can do about it right now. Are better. No, those are actually way better. I'll take those. That's a... okay. Alright, time to ignore his warning to leave and just keep wandering about. Yeah. I mean, it's at 17%. Oh, hello. That's a lot of enemies. Look away for 1 second to try and tell you how many frames have been dropped exactly. And... yeah. Yeah, we're at like 16.8% drop frames right now. But like right before streaming, it was at like 22 or 23%. Okay, what are the resistances? Oh, is there any blood on the ground anywhere? No blood, but... Let's see, who doesn't have Fizz armor? Oh, they've all got Fizz armor. Shackles of Pain are going away. Even though this will increase my damage output, I don't think it's a particularly good idea because they probably have Bloodsucker. Same time, the only surface I can make is water and the resistance to that. I mean, I could try making a fire surface, but how are they against fire resistance? Okay, blood it is. We know it might end up healing them. Blood it is. Oh, it's cursed blood now too. Fantastic. So I hope you've been doing well, Alyssa. I've been doing okay myself. Had some ups and downs. Recently had a bit of a lethargic streak that I've managed to break out of. No, not that one. Here we are. Lost them both. And... I'll blast this one. And it's dead. It should also block the ladder. Yeah. I mean, the reason I stopped is because I didn't quite know what to play and therefore what to do on stream, but a similar reason to you. Problem is why I've started streaming again. One of the factors, anyways. Gosh, that's 95%. I don't know if I should bless or encourage. If I do both, I can't attack this turn. Good news is we're down to 14.5% total dropped frames, so that's nice. Mostly at the beginning. What I found even playing games is that usually, like, same only does the initial ping for, like, say, server browsers. It'll be like 60 or 70 milliseconds, but as soon as I join the server, it's down to 32. So I figure there's some routing issues there where, like, takes some time for it to establish a faster, more stable connection. Still get packet drops kind of regularly. Varies by the day whether it's acceptable or unacceptable amounts, but okay. Bless might actually be also encourage. Okay, so encourage will increase some of our stats, our core stats, and as well, which will also heal us because when max HP is increased, it also heals by that amount. Bless will increase elemental resistances, give us some resistance to cursed stuff because we have cursed blood right there, so there's probably a lot of cursed stuff thrown around. And it also increases accuracy. It says whether I want the protection from potential curses or I want to increase the damage for now. I'll go encourage. And then we'll go for the absolute... Can I hit you? Oh, I can. But this guy's enraged. Wait, what? Oh, that's the similar visual effect to enraged. Interesting. Enraged in this game means you have 100% crit rate, and crits are like 170% damage on average. They can go higher, of course, or lower. The lowest I think is 160. So like, having an enraged enemy in your face is a very bad time. I'll go for the Spellbinder if I can hit them. Oh yeah. Okay. Can't kill him for 2 turns. you... Okay, you're doing Bloodsucker. Can you have that? Wait, healing... Healing ritual? I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe I have. There's a Hydrosophist skill I've been seeing but I haven't gotten because it was like you'd move to heal an ally and then it would bounce to other allies to heal them too. And it sounded like it'd be kind of short range splash heal. But if that's the same skill that I brushed off, that actually seems pretty decent. See any blood nearby? Of course not, you're not hurt yourself either. Alright, now we bless yourself, just as protection. Don't know how much to say about this game. This is clear. While it's in media res, it is also my first time playing it. It's very equal parts story and combat, I'd say. And some pretty good writing. Yeah, this may kill it, and it doesn't have Death Wish either. Not Death Wish, whatever, Death Resist. That should be good. Yep. Nothing's dead. Now, if I'm lucky, the guy at the bottom of the ladder is within 5 meters of the second dog, so this may bounce to it. It was not 5 meters. But yeah, their basic attack's cursed. That is bad news. Well, you get Shadow Infusion. Where to put this? Put him right there. And because I'm the one that's gonna get targeted a lot, evasion on myself. I got 2 AP left. Yeah, so the skill you're using is this one, which I have myself, Necromancy skill. Living on the edge for 2 turns, you just cannot die, period. Still take damage though, so you can kind of prep for the end, but you just cannot kill them. Whirlwind, but I don't think... Wait, can I? 285 HP. Oh, I'd have to crit with this if I'm going to kill. This, though, then basic damage. I do know that this is... Well, I'll cripple just to be sure. Oh, and he climbs up the ladder. Okay. Yeah, so as far as builds go... Oh, I can't access menu because I'm on the Incarnate's turn. Actually, I can do this. As far as builds go, for myself, I'm running Summoning as the main skill with Warfare and secondary. So basically I summon a bunch of stuff to fight with me and then cut things down myself when that's all over and done with. A little bit into Necromancy, Hydrosophist, and Aerothurge for some support stuff, with Hydrosophist for restoring magic armor and healing, Aerothurge for evasion as well as moving people around the battlefield. Necromancer for healing as well as resist death. The rest of the extra points are from gear. And then I've got Thievery, a little bit of Tell Consistent Lore Master, and the rest is from gear. Racials. So kind of similar to my Oblivion build. Just a Conjurer that's also really strong in 1v1. Ifan here is the Straight Archer, but because we have the Lone Wolf talent, all the way at the top. It's a long thing. It's just, as long as your party size is 2 or less, then you get like at least plus 60% to all your stats. Get 2 extra AP, 2 AP per turn, 3rd health, 60% more armor. Double your civil ability points, like it's a lot of huge benefits that allows a party of 2 to function as well, if not arguably better than a party of 4. I do this because I tried a party of 4, and it's just managing the gear for all 4 of them is overwhelming. So I'll do that for a second playthrough. First one, I'm gonna just manage 2 people's gear. Take Lone Wolf. But because of that, I have him not only be an archer, huntsman, and ranged, but then also round things out with Geomancer and Pyrokinetic. So between the 2 of us, we're only missing Scoundrel, which is all dagger stuff. Neither of us use daggers. But Pyrokinetic, of course, gives you fire, as well as some speed-related buffs. Geomancer is armor restoration and earth, and oil, poison, a few things. Guess I'll just go for this town then. Oh, he's in trouble up there. Aren't dealing a super high amount of damage though, all be told. Ifan here has low health because he has 0 points into Constitution. And I don't prioritize actual armor for him. I prioritize armor with offense buffing stats, so he's kind of the easier to kill of the 2 of us. Let's see, where can I go? Yeah, no. But I will give a parting gift. Shoot you in the face. I won't haste away. Just bum out exactly 5 AP. Sorry, exactly 5 meters for 1 AP worth. And then I will give them some earth. They do have fire resistance, and I don't have enough AP to hit them with fire. Oh, that crippled one, and yeah, another. Where the hell can I go? If I even want to go anywhere is a good question. Oil totem there. Oil totems are literally just turrets. Last for like 3 turns. So you can have up to 3 max if you spend every turn to summon one, and Yeah, they just shoot things at random enemies. You don't control them at all. You only have one controllable summon. Because I know like 5 summon skills, but because of that limit, I can only really slot one. Otherwise, I just keep desummoning whatever I bring up. Let's see. Can hit them. I don't know if that's a particularly good idea to go up there with them, though. Oh, no, actually, it may be. I will have 2 AP left over. So with this, I can do this, and they're knocked down. Oh, I didn't think the undead could bleed. Let's see, you have more health. Alright, and then we just shoot you in the face. Now then, do they have it? Thanks to Spirit Vision, I can kind of just do the whole kill first, ask questions later. It's not guaranteed, but it's something I can do.
The spirit of a black-ringed defiler swings her ghostly blade at invisible foes. She turns and shouts to unseen comrades. Her voice is a guttural snarl, ruined by the effects of death fog.
Go, find the jury. We need to find out what he knows. I'll hold these things off.
She turns back and cleaves her sword through the air. It makes contact with something. The echo of a bestial roar catches your ear.
Ooh. Alright, what other corpses are there? These are some nasty dogs. Alright, let's turn one into pulp so we can get a source point back. And break out the sleeping bag for full health. And now I found out what the heck's going on over here. So I guess the basics of the setting is that in this world there is Source, which can be used for all kinds of magic stuff, and you either are born able to use it or you aren't, and those who are born able to use it are called sorcerers. Yes, with the U after the O, because it's Source they use. But recently, for some reason, anytime a guy uses Source, a bunch of interdimensional monsters poof out of nowhere to kill the sorcerer and everyone around them. Called the Voidwoken, or at least as we call them. Because of that, people are scared shitless about sorcerers existing, because they're like, well, if they exist, then the Voidwoken will be drawn to them. It's not entirely the case, but still. Mass panic kind of doesn't care about logic. And so the Divine Order's Magisters are just locating and rounding up sorcerers and shipping them off to bumfuck nowhere. So that they're away from the general populace.
She screams and screams and screams and never stops the screams. The roots quake and my bones quiver and still the screaming.
And you start off as one of these sorcerers that is getting shipped off to bumfuck nowhere. with a collar around your neck that mutes your source power, so you can't use anything. But yeah, I got myself out of bumfuck nowhere and got the collar off. So
The tree, the tree, the tree. The tree's the girl, and the girl's the tree. And she screams and screams.
it's probably an ancestral tree then. Wonder if the demons are doing that or not. Oh yeah, and the magical equivalent of a nuke. Death fog. As the name implies, you touch that shit, you die. No ifs, ands, or buts, no damage taken, you are just not living anymore.
I've spotted something.
Coin purse. With all of 9 gold
Time
inside.
and the elements have left this grave marker illegible. It is no longer possible to read the name upon this old grave marker. Time and the elements have left this grave marker illegible.
So we're investigating Blood Moon Isle, which is this little island in the middle of a lake. It's a bit north of the rest of the place. We're in Act 2 of the game of, I think there's like 6 acts, maybe 5. I've only heard an estimate. And how far are we in here? I do new save, it'll tell me. We're 61 hours in, and we are not done with Act 2. This is a very long game. Damn straight I can. We are filthy rich. Although, yeah. Although on a more serious note, we do have a moderate amount of wealth. Have like 66,000 gold between the two of us. Ifans got the bartering skill, so I have him hold on to almost all the gold. And like a high-end piece of gear can cost like 5,000 or 6,000 gold, which is why I say we have a moderate amount of wealth. We can buy what we want and what we need, but it's not gonna be like 8 million what I left off as the hero to watch.
You might expect the stone figure was welcoming you to the island, were it not engulfed in threatening blue flame. Looking closer, you notice the statue's clerical garb, so similar to that worn by the ghostly priests bonded to the isle, an unlikely coincidence.
So the real cool thing about this, with the dialogue options, is that the background you choose for a character actually opens up new options, as well as the books you read, the people you talk to, and the choices you make in previous conversations all play a role to determine what paths you have. And also persuasions, there is a persuasion skill that does make all persuasion easier, but having higher attributes actually reduces the amount of persuasion points required to succeed. And difficulty rating is per persuades, and as well as what you're saying, who you're saying. Yeah, so this second option is from me finding a book in a crate and reading it. And now we're here, and we're like, oh, right. This him.
Twines around the effigy like a fine thread. Guardian burning bright with sourceful flame, abide the sacred call, reveal the godsless hall. Winged keeper, song doth bid you break. The priest shall scry the demon's lies, the chains await their captive. From stone to dust, from stone to dust.
Here we are. Been into a very similar spot before. Yep.
A trembling spirit wrings his hands, his eyes darting around the room. They settle on you.
What are you doing here? What do you want? You mustn't linger. You mustn't remain. There can be no reason. This is not a place for reason. This is a place to be forgotten.
Well, good news is the drop frames are down to 12.4%, but that last packet loss rose it by that last 0.4%.
It's the silver shaft that's missing. There's an anvil where silver can be properly melted. That ought to do it.
His hand is his throat.
As a priest, I had a patient. A dastardly demon held him in its grasp. The demon absorbed all his pain in exchange for his soul. I was certain we'd only diminish the demon by overwhelming my patient with pain. I planned to torture the demon until it gave up its grip over the poor fellow. I began in earnest, but his cries pierced my heart. Even if the treatment could save him, I hadn't the stomach nor the soul for it. So I lied to the others. I told them there was no helping him. I told them to seal us down here, where he could do no harm, where I could guard his prison. Better one soul damned than two. This demon gluts itself on pain. Only the utmost torture would draw him forth. I couldn't do it. I refused to subject myself or my comrades to such barbarism. If you've the stomach for such an ungodly task, I won't keep you from it. Perhaps you could inflict the pain that's needed. But it is a devil's business. We broke the lever for the door when we locked him inside, so that none would ever attempt to free him. No matter what, the demon itself must not be freed. The horrors he would wreak upon our world.
I'll note that all spirits are composed entirely of source. All souls are source. And I have source vampirism, so I can consume the very souls of things to replenish my own. So it's a neat little touch that in every conversation with the spirit, I have the option to just eat them. Well, I have a silver bar because I examined the lever in another chamber just like this. It had mentioned silver.
The lever part of the lock mechanism seems to be missing. There is no prize with which to open the door.
Well, the last one mentioned silver at some point, so I brought a silver bar that we had found randomly in, like, the first act, I think. Okay, there was a lizard in the last chamber, so I guess they have more failed exorcisms here. Probably one for each statue.
The chains bind their captive.
Torn diary page, you say? Day 25. Chains at least seem to be holding. There were some moments of concern, but the columns do their work. No soul shall escape this room. Another diary page. Day 31. It's time. There isn't any more I can do. Only pray that it was enough. May the gods forgive me. Yeah, so a little extra side bit that you do learn at the beginning is that there are 7 gods in the setting. Each one created a race of their own except for one of them, 7th, who instead decided to be a patron to all wizards and magic users. And there came a time when these interdimensional monsters actually came to this world to wreak havoc in the past. And so the gods decided to stop just bickering with each other all the time and trying to kill each other, and instead focus all their power into one hero mortal as a vessel for them, their divinity, and have that one guy fight back the void. And that one mortal who fought back the void is dead now. And his son, we all assumed would take over, but his son is not cut from the same cloth. Sure, he's a spawn from the same flesh, but he's the exact kind of guy you're supposed to kill on sight. Because he's the one who is doing... I don't know how much of Act 1 you want me to spoil, or even Act 2, just... If you think the Divine Order is evil, no, it's entirely the Divine Son's fault. Because he is classic 2nd gen, being absolutely unworthy of their parents' power. And here's the first chamber I found.
I watch the gate. Who goes there? I watch the gate. Who goes there? You must leave. The gate is locked forever. The lock is broken. The key is thrown away.
Yeah, broken silver lever. That's why I thought to bring in the silver bar, and... well... you can craft with it. And where is the silver bar? Here it is. Nothing. Yeah, there's a lizard in here. Source puddle. Puddle of soul, which goop. Anyway, setting-wise, I think I've told you everything that really is going on, at least that you know from the intro cinematic. How the Divine is dead, the Voidwoken are returned, they are attracted to Source, and so all the sorcerers are just being rounded up and sent off to bumfuck nowhere with collars that mute their Source powers, so that hopefully the Voidwoken never come if there's no Source to be had. Alright. I should pay a little bit more attention. This is the second time I've just entered combat without really realizing it. Do they have... Oh, they probably all have Fizz armor, don't they? Interesting how they all have names. Well, positioning is super duper incredibly important in this. Because as you can see, having the high ground gives you a lot of extra reach, depending on just how much higher you are. Also, there's backstab criticals if you've got daggers. Neither of us do, so there's that. But yeah, positioning is very important. Actually, it's more important than stats, honestly. The stats are really important. Like, a 1 level difference is a huge, huge thing. If you're fighting an enemy that's 2 levels higher than you, you're gonna die. But positioning is so important that I actually beat an enemy 3 levels higher than me. By the skin of my teeth. Just by using positioning. There we are, blood infusion. If you try to go on the edge of the blood, the game tooltip may say, oh yeah, that's blood, but then when you summon it, it's like, no, that's not blood, and not give him a blood infusion. So, eh. Alright. Think we can hit that thing? Yeah, we can. Ooh, okay, okay. We can knock that down. But we're also having if and go first next, so I don't even know if they can bleed. Yes, they can bleed. Yeah, so usually an enemy characters only have 4 AP to use, which means either they can attack twice or they can move and attack once. In general. But with Lone Wolf gives us an extra 2, so we can attack thrice or move and attack twice or whatever. Oh, cool. Alright, what to do? Oh, peace of mind on yourself. I guess I'll go through exactly what that does. Strength +4, finesse +4, int +4, which are all offensive stats. Wits +8, which increases your initiative and your crit rate, and then accuracy +20%. So I do it mostly for the crit rate and accuracy. Oh, at this point, accuracy more so, because apparently, while there are no level restrictions on the gear you can use, like he's using level 16 bow, there is actually a penalty, at least with weapons, where you lose accuracy. I don't know which one to go for. Probably kill that thing, though, pretty quickly. Oh, almost. Almost. Alright, one shot to you. And then... Can I hit this thing, though? Can it be like a tail as long as I can target it? I don't think I can. This thing can hit, but I don't know if I want to really want that. Alright, you get the other 2 arrows. Of course, it does death resist. Okay. And oh boy, Death Wish. Okay, so Death Wish is a damage buff that's proportional to HP lost. So you use that with Death Resist, you can go down to 1 HP and get like 99% damage buff, which is ridiculous. I don't know know if I should encourage at this point. I'll leave that to myself. Okay, not Sky Shot. Don't need to do that. So I want to kill the doggy here. I don't even know if it's worth a... What are the resistances, though? Fire resist... fire resist... and like 4 buffs. Water and earth resist. Interesting. Alright, so his magics aren't too good. Yeah, he's got earth and fire damage. Which go well together, but a lot of enemies are usually resistant to one or the other. If not, heal off them. Actually, is there blood? Yeah, there isn't. Armor didn't break. We're fine. In which case, I will go for... Oh, out of sight. Huh. Spend the 1 AP. Now are you in sight? Yes, you are. Because we spent 1, we can only attack twice, so let's just 1 point to encourage, and just hit it twice. And miss it once with a 5% miss chance. Alright, let's see, can I get... Ooh, I can. Here we are. So each infusion unlocks new abilities for my Incarnate, as well as increases its damage by 25%. So it's, even if I don't use the skills, it's still worth it for the damage buff. Yeah, I'll just put a totem down there. So yeah, with Aerithurge, I've got 3 skills. I have Uncanny Evasion, 90% dodge chance. Then I have 2 teleport skills. Another swap to swap places of 2 enemies, and teleport to just drop you on any place I want. And then for Hydrosophist, I've got Cryogenic Stasis for last-ditch effort to save your ass. Armor of Frost, restore health, restore magic armor, and Rain for making some water puddles. I got Necromancy with Blood Rain for making blood puddles, Death Resist, and Share Damage Taken. So I could boost it by Fizz Armor, so eh. That is extended. Well, that is really extended. Okay, I'm going to just slap Evasion. If then, I'm going to leave him alone up here. And boop, boop. There we go.
Something else.
Alright, that thing still has death. Oh, nice. Anyhow, so that Blitz Assault took down 1. We then knocked down, almost killed this guy. He's at 1 HP because of the Death Resist. Should be done by the end of his next turn. Then we have the 2 dogs left. I still got clear-minded, so use the bounce. I cannot see him from here. Well, I know they just got back up, but like, could you please sit back down? Alright, now what? Yeah, I'll just put a totem right next to his ass. And then... Heart of Steel. Oh, nice. He's bleeding, I guess. Right as it ran out. Let's see. How much damage? Oh, that's enough. As long as it's not in the low end, this should kill. And then a smack. As I mentioned in the notice, was it notice board or town square? I forget where, but this is multiplayer. I think it's drop in, drop out too, and not local either. It's online. So I am totally game for playing this with any of y'all. Ooh, a silver bar. Oh, nice. I don't know how much it costs, because as I said before, Nerva gifted this to me. So,
The spirit of a Black Ring Reaver looks down at his corpse in dismay. He notices you approach and challenges you in a throaty rasp.
the bitrate's getting slightly better. We're down to 11.5% total drop frames. Which amounts to like 30,345 frames dropped since the start of the stream at 60 frames per second.
You're not one of those blood things. Who are you? You look the part, I suppose. We had orders to take the island at any cost. We had spells and charms that were supposed to protect us from the death fog. They didn't work. Half of us died crossing the water.
Well, if half of you died crossing the water, I guess some of them worked.
Me and some others just barely made it. But then these blood beasts attacked us right away. A few made it away. I didn't. Orders. We were told they'd work. No reason to doubt that. One of my comrades used source magic. That saved the rest of us. The death fog already burnt my lungs. But I made it ashore.
containers, the name actually gets changed to have the empty tag next to it. But for corpses, it doesn't. Like, here, crate empty. But then it's just dead Black Ring Reaver. But if you turn on tooltips, it'll say they're empty. That's it. Well, this is a lot more information. It's also a lot of clutter.
Vault looks unfinished. Was it never used?
I love Lucky Charm. It's just a chance for bonus loot. I kind of want to pull the lever, if not, like, just take it off and use it elsewhere, but... If using it actually, like, operates the lever and closes the door, I don't want that. I want to leave, want to explore.
Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
Ifan claps you on the shoulder and beams at you, affection for you plain in his eyes.
Okay, I guess we'll just use the lever then. That did nothing? Something? Anything? Didn't seem to close anything. A 19 out of 20. Yeah, I've noticed that even though weapons have durability, it's kind of a low number. It only goes down when you hit stuff that's like not a combatant, and which means arrows are just way better because they just don't have durability. Just now I can target it. What could I use to smack this off? Axe? Yeah. I think we had a hammer in here somewhere. Oh, that's not right. I don't have the pouch. Ziffin. I have that as Darlek. Which means... yeah. Does this work? No. That's why we use some nails. Nope. Alright, it'd be nice if we could remove this lever, but I don't see an option to. Or we'd have to combine it with something and I don't know what. Pickaxe? There are pickaxes in this game, but we never used it for anything. I got no clue. Our inventory is also getting full up. I guess we'll just look for that anvil. And the druid, I suppose. What has me kind of unsettled about this, aside from just the excessive amount of gore everywhere, is that this excessive amount of gore also tends to be what very, very void-polluted areas look like. I've been inside a void-woken nest. They look similar to this, but not as infested.
Volumes upon volumes. I can't imagine the vastness of knowledge recorded here.
All right. Probably check for a soul around here. Yep, there's a soul around here.
The spirit urgently passes a hand across the spines, whispering each tome's title as she comes across it.
No, no, it isn't here. This is impossible. You, my brother, help me find it. There is little time.
Thank you.
This is no time for pranks, my friend. The Doctor's arrogance may end us all. He has released a dark presence upon us. It must never sing the taming. The hymnals must be destroyed. And yet, I see no sign one was ever here. You must help me look.
Her hands fan furiously across the tomes, like a pianist's upon the keys.
The key, of course. The melody that douses the guardian flames and reveals the vaults. I shudder to think what may happen should their captives be freed.
Oh.
I've presided over this archive for many years. The hymnals were many. How could I not notice their absence?
So rumor has it this whole island used to be a demon hunter's train academy. And then so people came to them for exorcisms, and one very, very powerful demon. A very, very powerful demon came here one day, and they just couldn't exorcise it. And to prevent that demon from escaping, one of the surviving exorcists just spilled death fog all around the island. And they let it be. So if the demon tries to escape, well, dies. Which, I don't know how long ago this was, though. Because the guy who told me that rumor is a couple thousand years old. Oh.
A malignance more rotten than any I've known, brother. It should have been confined to the vault. I'd have offered myself up for the sacrifice had I known the Doctor's intentions. Now be silent. Your questions vex me, and I have no time for idle chatter. Find the others, and gather near the flaming guardians. Should the hymn be sung, the vaults can be opened. We are not safe.
She hushes you with an index finger held to your lips and continues her search.
Yeah, I didn't get to ask who the Doctor was. I saw some blue over here. Oh. Oh, it's a Nibirum chest. Oh, I think I know what that is. I think I'm carrying the hilt to this shattered blade right now. Alright, let's read the notes then. Looking through the book, you see page after page describing how to enchant grenades with a source orb, making them incredibly powerful. One example is fully illustrated, diagrams in all, and apparently the most dangerous one, how to curse a cluster grenade with a source orb. Flutter pulses as if possessing a heartbeat and glows with pale light. Children of the God King, the priests are in disarray, and the tree is soon to give up its secrets. It is time to descend upon Blood Moon Island. Demons would bar the way with death fog, but I dare say the unliving among you should have no trouble passing. Or should those with a gift for surviving such toxins. Go, it is your desire and your duty. Missive is signed with a single letter, S. A1. Extreme precautions must be taken to ensure the security of the vaults. The demons seem, at times, on the verge of breaking through their chains. If such an eventuality take place, we must prevent them from escaping. The levers that could open the doors must be broken. Now for the Archivist's Journal. Dark person encroaches. Let this journal serve then as a monument to truth, a rare treasure in a world built on lies. To whomever reads this, please know we only intend to protect, never harm. No priest I know would see the innocent suffer. Blood Moon Island's very purpose was to keep Referral safe, to exorcise and cleanse, to relieve demon-infested souls wherever we might find them. Not every victim is so easily purified. These are the unlucky ones, destined to writhe eternally, vessels for demons too stubborn to return to the plane they call home. Elia Nessa was one such vessel. Daeva brought the elf sorcerer here. He was limp, glass-eyed, silent. We all felt the presence when we drew near. We knew such darkness could never be cast out. She would be banished to the vaults, along with the priests unlucky enough to shackle her. But it was never to be. Daeva had tired of seeing brothers and sisters sacrificed. He performed the exorcism on Elianessa himself, in spite of her protests, in spite of her prayers, and so the shadow was released. Elianessa did not survive the exorcism, but it takes some comfort in knowing an ancestor tree will grow where she fell. As for Daeva, I do not know his fate. I rushed to the archive, knowing the presence must never be allowed to sing the hymn and enter the vaults, yet I have found but one. Where the rest may be, I can't be certain, so now I wait. Shadow will soon engulf me. Whatever Blood Moon Island might become, know what it once was, a temple of hope and healing. Pray this is how you remember us. Archivist Blair Kaidow. Oh, there's the Archivist corpse. Opening the book, you read the description of attempts to exorcise a child. It seems the priests were quickly overwhelmed by the demons within, but never able to find even an echo of the child's soul. Oh, hello there, Sobit. Doing with some ups and downs lately. Also, Alyssa already knows this, but OBS is updated and now tells me exactly what percentage of frames have been lost to anything. And early on, Comcast dropped 20% of the stream. Now it's down to 11.2%. I welcome the day when I move to Europe and leave this shitty enterprise behind. Alright, I've read this before. What else can I send? I have to read that parchment. Ah.
Divine Order? What the devil? The contract seems to predate Alexander's ascension, too.
The title is right there at the top of the pause screen, Divinity Original Sin 2. This is the game that Nerva gifted me, actually on stream. And you could kind of sum it up as D&D in video game format. Because you do get a lot of options to go about a lot of things. And it is multiplayer, so if you do get this... I don't know about in this campaign, and that's because... it is drop-in, drop-out co-op, so yeah, you can technically play with me on this campaign, but because I have the Lone Wolf perk, kind of need to keep this party to a maximum of 2 people instead of the 4. I don't know if it's... I haven't played Path of Exile. I know Path of Exile is more along the lines of Diablo. It's turn-based combat. You'll see it when we get to it, but for right now we're in investigation and exploration. How was it? So, apparently I forgot to read that. Important I did, though. Just put these keys away. And store them in the rucksack. There we go. Inventory management can become a real pain in the ass in this game. It takes a while to sort through things, and to help you can carry containers with you. And while you can have multiple backpacks, they're all just called backpack, so that gets confusing. So I tried to find containers of similar weight, but different names or icons. Got a basket for ingredients, a pouch for food, pack for gear and keys. Alright, time to just look through books. We're just gonna keep alternating from side to side, aren't we? Yep. Back and forth, back and forth. Even the cupboard's on the other side. And empty. At least we're starting to run for this one. Okay, I got plenty more rows of books left, but that... Okay, sheet of paper. Actually, since you're on YouTube, you might be able to rewind a bit, because we already have had some combat encounters on stream. I don't know how long I want to watch them, since, you know. But they're there. Yeah, so crafting this game is something I don't have a big handle on. But this is just, you just jam any couple of things together. And you'll either, it won't You get something or you don't, and it doesn't consume items on failure, which is nice. So you actually can just mash things together. There's just a lot. Just an absolute lot of things. Let's see. I have some life essence. Do we have any water essence? Air. Shadow essence. I don't see any water essence. Alright, what arrowheads and shafts have we got? Oh, that's right, I can use essences with... Ooh. Okay. Combine that with some arrowheads then. See what this does. Nothing. Thought I could maybe make a smoke arrow with that, but guess not. What on earth do? Poison cloud. I don't really use these, so I don't quite see the point of me making them. Where were they? Yeah, here they are. Arrow shafts. You select the earth essence and find where those arrowheads were or are. And here they're probably outside, aren't they? There's the heads. So yeah, like that, you can craft a lot of things, and because of that, I'm not used to it, so I don't really do crafting that much. Not without recipes anyways. But you do find some. If you read books, you'll get recipes. Wait, what? If you dye a poison bottle red, you get a health potion. Oh, that's great. Let's see, what large runes have we got? I don't know if I want to use runes right now. Using runes is usually good, but you have pixie dust for...
I found something.
Honestly, I kind of saw it, but I didn't think... Oh, don't even need a lever. Thought there'd be a lever I need to hit. Progress has been a bit slow. Last I did some serious work on it, it was a pain in the ass. I still have it up, don't I? Do a quick save just in case. So, I've been working on level up stuff as well as enchant seek. So, last I did before I got serious work, I just finished the resistances updating dynamically. Then I got to work on enchant seeking, so like, you know, when you level up every 5 times, you get asked for an enchantment, and that's what this code does. But then I got to level ups, which has its own. Encountered some more engine bugs. But I had to go over them all. This is why it was so... One of the reasons why it was so draining is because there's just many new globals. There's 40 effects for 6 items. 240 globals. It's just... That's exhausting. Although on the upside, since I got a handle on how OPSC does arrays, I have been using a lot of multi-dimensional arrays a lot to really cut things down and make them more flexible. Since arrays can be variable size. What else was there? I probably shouldn't open that. What do on set weight? Alright, get enchant data. So this just makes like a multi-dimensional array that contains the data for every single effect that you can choose, all 40 of them. From the effect code to the active value it affects to the growth rates, range, duration, everything. And this function just makes the giant ass array that contains all of that data and passes it back. So that way I make that during the initialization phase, and then I can use this array to pass into other functions with exactly the data I need. Yeah, with that, the downtimes is that I started to be lethargic, and when you start doing nothing, you just continue to do nothing. Like an object in motion tends to stay in motion type of deal. I just started to get back into motion. But the last time I was in motion, I was working on this. I fully remember what the hell I was doing. See, one thing that I know I was proud of was set effect item was. Here we are. So I do have a set effect stat just to calculate stats for it. It's a simple enough function. Yeah, for me, I've been playing this game in the background here, like for a lot of the time lately. But it's been starting to consume, probably playing it more than I should. I'll still keep playing it though, I'll try to organize my day better. So I plan to like wake up, read some manga, then get to work, and then later in the day I'll play this. So that way I don't end up in the dark playground. No amount of positive thinking will keep Comcast packet loss at bay. Anywho, this function is pretty simple. You just pass it in the growth stats for an effect, and then it'll calculate what the actual thing should be at the level you sent it, and then it'll give those stats back in an array, which I can then use to feed into a different function. I'd say keep working on the clicker game, but start whiteboarding that pirate game. Like when it comes to clicker, you actually know what to do, but with the pirate game, all you know is it's a pirate game. And keeping things nebulous is not good, because then you're like, what the fuck do I do? As soon as you try to do anything. getting like a whole 5 seconds of speaking before the packets just completely disappear again. Yeah, I've been feeling... Yeah. Now, the set effect thing, effect item that I'm kind of proud of, is that what this does is if you pass it in the magnitude, area, duration, range, effect code, actor value code, and then an enchantment, what it will do is it will actually look through the enchantment for the effect code that you pass it, and if it finds it, it'll actually update that effect with the values you give it, and if it doesn't find it, it'll add the effect, and if you pass in all zeros for the stats, then it'll find the effect and delete it from the enchantment. And I use this for adding and removing enchantments and updating stuff. Just one function, perform all those actions. I like it. What else was there? Right, I had to come up with new ways to refresh equip because of engine bugs. Alright, there's a menu code. So this is the function that does all the menu stuff for enchantment. Longer than you thought, yeah. That's just because it goes 2 pages deep, because you can do Fortify and Restore, and Restore just goes 1 page deep. Like, you choose Restore, and then you can have Restore Health, Fatigue, or Magicka. But with Fortify, you then have to pick whether you want to do an attribute, resource, or... which brings it to another extra page. And that just brings up the code. As far as like in the actual main though itself with seeking, it's just... yeah, it's just this one line. Because all we do is we just pass it, basically we set the page number and the button to default, and then we just feed them into the function, and the function will give us what the next page and button are, and then we feed those right back into the function. Keep going until page gets returned as a -1, at which point button then points to an index on this function. Whatever, it points to a global index. What else was there? Okay, so bug-wise. Oh boy, bugs. The work was just tedious, but the bugs were frustrating. What was there? Enchant Seek, as I said, it was mostly just tedium, because it was... okay. Now, all this is pretty repetitious code, and I should factor out into a function, but I don't... I'm scared to, because that may break the menu code somehow. Because just layering... I don't know, when I did do Spheragon, I had some issues with doing menu code across multiple functions. So, having a function to call the menu code function, I should, in theory, and because I'm scared of that, I'm just going to leave it as is. Alright, then we have the level up code, which I think is mostly done. It's just like level up message. I think messages are next, and then I'm not entirely sure what's after that. I know for menu code there's going to be mimicry, what different forms you can have, weapon eating, or armor eating in this case. But besides that, I'm not sure what else to do in terms of game mode stuff. I think it's just... oh right, there's breaking. There's armor breaking, messages. Okay. But with this, enchant code was... Yeah, these are very long function calls. Very long indeed. Let's just set effect stat and then set effect item. Just those two function calls. Like I get the function to get me what global the active one is, and then I get what the stat should be for it now, and then I just set it on the enchantment, and there we go. Then we get to armor updating. Oh boy. So last time I worked on this, I ended up just making Mondstadt, just right here, which actually bypasses the entire issue I had before, because the previous thing I did, tried to do a little bit lazy thing. Like, instead of modding it and making a new function, I just use old functions to set it. But the thing with the thing is with I ran into a bug though, which is that of course, as I've gone over, when you enchant an item, you add enchantment to worn gear. It isn't actually applied. It's not doesn't show up in active effects, doesn't actually get applied to your character until you re-equip the item. So I had a function to just unequip and then re-equip all the stuff. Well, I called that after doing level up stuff, and it would unequip and not re-equip. I'm like, what the heck's going on with that? So, turns out, because the function's working when you initialize it, it runs then, but then doesn't work later. Well, turns out if you call unequip item at the same frame as equip item fails. That's just Oblivion. Doesn't matter if you could use an OBSE version of equip item or not, it just fails. But for some strange ass reason, right after the game loads the save, it works. It's like only once the game really gets going that it just starts to fail. It always fails. Always fails like Comcast Internet. So I got around that by... Oh, I'll just bring it up again. Thought I could explain this without having it up. By doing this, so now we have a refresh once flag gets triggered, and this will unequip your items. Set the delay time so that way we know for sure it's going to be exactly one frame past, and then it'll come around again, and then equip your items. And then once that flag is 0, we then have the little block up here that will change it back to normal script delay. So that solves that, and that's actually still at play. That bug is still being worked around. But the second bug was that in order to like set the stats the kind of lazy way, was that I just, I use my already there set stat function. I have it commented out where you have set stat, and then that's it. Because this will calculate based on level, it should be right, except then I've remembered heavy and light armor have different values, and because you can multiply an integer by a float, you'll have truncation to deal with. So how am I going to do that? Well, obviously afterwards I can just do set weight, but before that, then I'd have to like adjust what set stat outputs, and I didn't want to do that, so I just said like, okay, let's just set it to light. Then we call set stat with it on light armor, so now we don't have to adjust the output from this, and then we call set weight to correct it if it's heavy armor. And that was that. But the problem is that we end up with heavy armor stats, but it was still light armor. Which had me going, what the fuck? Or you end up with heavy armor but has light armor stats. And the weirdest shit about this is that bug, where was it? Oh no, yeah, it's here. I haven't closed out, so it's still not perma deleted. But yeah, I put that code into a function because we have a copy and pasted code identical in the initialization phase and here at level up. So I'm like, I'll just put it into a function, and I do. And this doesn't this has that bug I just said where you end up with like a mismatched armor type and stats. It's like set armor type just only runs once and not twice on each item, even though it needs to run twice, and I'm like, what the fuck? But the moment I take it out of the function and I put it here into main under game mode, it works. Don't change the code, just put it in a different spot and it works. You get light armor with light stats and heavy armor with heavy stats. What the fuck is wrong with this game? And then the next day, when I had more motivation in me, I just did mod stat because that's more mod friendly. Because like if some other mod comes along, modifies your armor stats, pulling a mod will preserve those changes, as opposed to a set which will overwrite them. Of course, I have yet to come across a mod that does that, but can't hurt to future-proof it. Anyway, I left the old code commented in because, well, whatever. That's the last thing I remember leaving off on. This game. Just so many engine bugs. Like, I really shouldn't get my hopes up, but I'm expecting Skyrim to have a bit better code. Like, I know it's still known as a buggy mess, but I'm hoping they, like, it's less of a buggy mess than Oblivion is. Anyway, the hardest part to do next is definitely going to be the level up messages. Code-wise, it's actually the easiest because you just have something to output tech random message at when specific flags are set. It's hard because artifacts in the Elder Scrolls are really just they're weapons, but they're like contain massive amounts of magical power, usually like split off from a prince or something. And they contain so much power that there's kind of these esoteric stories that say the artifacts actually choose their owners. They're not sentient or anything. None of the artifacts will talk to you, but it's kind of implied that they decide who wields them, which implies they're sentient, have their own will. I'm kind of trying to push that. And like the growth items that I'm making, initially thought I was just like they're enchanted items that want to be better. They just kind of, it's like I'm getting chipped, then I'll just repair myself and make it stronger so I don't get chipped anymore, kind of thing. But that kind of leaves the question of, is it just a weapon that's enchanted to grow stronger? Or is it like a sentient weapon that actually has a will that desires power? It's like, is it a living weapon or not? And I want to leave that painfully ambiguous with my messaging. Like, the messages need to be something that implies it could be alive without actually saying it's alive, but you could also plausibly say that it's not alive at all. And that's what's so hard about level up messages. That's why there's only 6 for Juice Faragon, because it was so freaking hard to come up with more.
I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void. I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void.
Yeah.
The transparent artifact glimmers of its own accord, as if conducting light from another world, another plane of living. As your hand nears it, it shivers and speaks.
So the reason why I touched that chest twice is because I've come across a Tenebrium chest before, and when I put my hand up to it, it took a source point, and then it opened. But this one took a source point and stayed blocked. So I don't know.
Your head perks. You know these words. This is the language of demons. Few have heard it spoken aloud.
Connected as one. The past and the present slain. Absolution and redemption await the one whose sins are many.
It's a crystal blade, seemingly separated from its hilt. It's clearly of a kind with the object you recovered from the Surrey tomb. The object repeats the words it previously spoke. It has nothing more to offer.
Hilt of a blade, I do believe, but clearly no ordinary blade.
I feel the same about my bedroom, because I've been to better houses, and now I know my house just sucks.
I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. I can feel my source power draining.
Let's try picking them up.
Tenebrium
Wait, what?
is truly a material of
Wait,
the
what?
void.
Hold. Give me my source point back. I couldn't examine it, so I didn't pick the lock, because, like, lock levels can vary a lot, and either you can or you can't pick them. But, like, what? I just picked that lock. Like, what the fuck? Oh my.
I can feel my source power.
Oh, hello.
Pyramid. How very useful.
I'm out of source, though. Oh well, we got some bodies around, right? That's a lot of books. I mean, to do inventory right now. So if we find a merchant, we can get these appraised, which is why I don't invest much into Lore Master. I invest 1 point so I can see elemental weaknesses. Beyond that, I'm like, eh. You can see a little bit more info, but nothing as valuable as that first point. Alright. Send those to Iffin, because he's got the bow. Oops. Whatever. Poison wave. I think he knows that, but I'll send it to him anyways. Yeah, he knows that. Okay, add to wares. Add to wares. Add to wares. Also, scrolls are useful in this game. I don't use them too much, but they are useful. Unlike in Oblivion. Because here, when you have a scroll, skills have cooldowns on them. They have both cost action points as well as have a cooldown to them. So with scrolls, you can bypass the cooldown. You can just do fireballs every turn as long as you have enough scrolls to fireball. I know these are kind of rare. I don't know if they're... Don't know what I can make with them other than bone dust, though. Let's store that in lady. Okay. Pass these over to Iffin, because he's got bartering. And we still have a lot in our inventory. Okay, silly book of blank Traddlesons? Oh, I've read this one like 5 times. With the Holy Hand Grenade. This booklet contains detailed instructions on how to throw and when to release the Holy Hand Grenade. There's even exercises that you can fill in, and very complicated rules explaining how to organize a role-playing game for practicing the actual throw. Finally, on the last page, there's a simple recipe on how to make one. Find the rare Holy Hand Grenade, or open it and fill it up with a starfish, then close it, or buy one in the shop. Alright. You just pulling my leg, or do you really not know? This little companion describes how to keep all war gear and machinery up and running, what bolt to tighten and what wheels to oil. You had no idea the maintenance of all this stuff was such a handful. One of the pages describes how someone's oil flask once caught fire, so you decided to make note of it in your recipe book under grenades. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Gosh, I don't know if showing that clip will give a copyright strike or not. But it's that whole movie was wonderful. Oh, this was the book that I found before. Oh, okay. They're really scattered about, huh? Oh yes, it's just timeless. That book about the whole hand grenade is great. That cleans up things up a little bit. What was the last? Ah, the green one was added last. Well, let's go into Iffin. Yeah, so these pyramids, teleporters, can teleport to each other. So I hold on to 2, he's got 2, we can just poof to each other, or we can, I guess, throw them? Wonder, can't do it from the item bar, probably from inventory. Yeah, I can just throw it. Telekinesis. And then poof to it. And pick it back up. So these are nice to have. Well, let's check out that recipe. The Holy Sovereign's Orb and a starfish. Would never expect it to be so simple. That feels kind of nonsensical, though. Because, I mean, how do you bless things? You consume an entire person's soul in order to bless a thing. And here we are with a grenade that blesses stuff by just putting some starfish inside a gold ball. I guess a starfish has a lot of souls, huh? Speaking of souls, I have to refill mine. And that's enough. Okay, I still need to find out this magical anvil thing. What the heck is my active quest, though? There is the advocate. I'd like to... So I made a deal with Demon Hunter to go kill the advocate. But, yeah, here, Jahan's lesson. So yeah, he'll teach us if we kill the advocate for him. I could just attack him outright. That's for sure one thing I could do, but instead, I think I'll snoop around and see if I can get him to attack first, just because that's more in line with my morals. I just have an automatic non-aggression pact with everything. So even though I need to kill this guy, I'm just gonna see if I can prod him into breaking the NAP that we unofficially have. Okay. Well, I do have thievery, so as long as I distract them with if and here, I can pick their pockets. I did that in the early game to avoid spending cash on things, but I've only been using it for picking locks at this point. And we're going to work on the Forgotten and the Damned, so here's that pointing. Ah, okay. So somewhere on this island should be an anvil that's maybe enchanted. We were just down here, right? Yes, we were. Can I not climb these stairs? Okay, I can climb around the stairs. It's odd. You really do have to kind of get used to what is and isn't walkable terrain. Normally it follows the rule of like things that normally stays consistent. Like if it's very steep, you can't walk on it. Or if it's clearly a cliff and you can't. But like Like those stairs there. It's just a couple of... There's rare inconsistencies.
Aha! I suppose this is what I need to fix that lever.
And there's silver bars.
The great forge is black with a soot of ancient work. Inside is a casting for an ornate handle, flecked with glittering bits of silver.
Oh, I have to load the forge? Do I have to put some logs in there? I know I have some logs somewhere, but like... I'll try just shoving a silver bar in there and calling it a day. If I can find it. I don't see it. Eh. Oh, there it is.
Excellent. We can use this shaft to open one of the vault doors.
Ah, but only one? Well, let's make some more. Well, I know there's 2 vaults so far, so let's just make 2. Could save the silver bar for something else. And let's continue to explore the aisle. Is that open or... That's open. Alright. So if you couldn't guess already, this is just a little unique spot in the game because it's a secluded island that had a failed demon exorcism. The rest of the world is not so gored up.
So many dead.
Oh, so many dead? Maybe I can... Nah, they're spirits. Their source is probably long gone. No, there is some source left.
A ghostly aura rises from the butchered corpses, half-formed impressions of panic, fear, and pain. No single voice rises from the cacophony, perhaps thankfully. The spirit of a man in priestly robes drifts from corpse to corpse, head bowed. He murmurs blessings over each of them.
Merciful Seven, smile upon your fallen servants. Brother Ashwell, Brother Triskel, Sister Revria, usher them forth to the Hall of Echoes.
He notices your presence.
The Hall... I didn't quite know this at first, but the Hall of Echoes is this setting's afterlife? There isn't quite a heaven or hell, it's just the Hall of Echoes, or your soul is just destroyed. So,
Sorcerer, this island is nothing but death. You should leave.
Actually, I explained this to Alyssa, but... Did you catch any of the explanation of the setting, Silbit? Honestly, a lot of people just happen to know I'm a sorcerer. Like, they can smell the source on me. And at least half of them literally can smell the source, somehow. Yeah, okay. So there's 7 gods in this setting. And each of those gods, or 6 of the 7 gods, made races to represent them. The 7th one, instead of making a race, just kind of decided, I'll be the patron of all wizards. And so they govern all magic users. And being 7 gods, they're constantly fighting each other, like warring at each other outside the realm. It makes it perfectly acceptable for the races on here to war with each other based purely on racism. But eventually, an extra-dimensional threat called the Void came in. If they're interdimensional monsters, started ravaging the land, and the gods were like, well, shit, looks like we've got to put our petty differences aside and fight this back, but they could not individually. So they decided to pour all of their power into one single vessel, which was a mortal champion. Pour all their divinity into him, or half of their divinity, in making him divine, and he fought back the Void. His name was Lucian. And like those packets just now, he's gone. He died fighting the Void. The Void was indeed repelled, but he died in the process. And so his son Alexander is who everyone thinks is going to succeed him as the new divine. But he hasn't ascended yet. Meantime, what's happened is that in addition to that, there's also a source. As you can see here, he calls me a sorcerer with a U in there. That's deliberate because we're using source as a source of power. And you either are born able to use source or you aren't. That's just an innate ability. You can, of course, learn to channel more source, but you have to have the ability to in the first place. And sorcerers, just consider them more powerful mages, since they have access to soul magic, basically. But lately, whenever some sorcerer uses source, a bunch of interdimensional monsters kind of poof in out of nowhere to eat the sorcerer and everyone around them. Looks like the Void's back. So, with everyone being scared shitless about the Voidwoken coming in and just massacring everything, there's now a huge, almost pandemic-like fear of just sorcerers in general. And so the Divine Order, headed by Alexander, son of Lucian, and his magisters, have decided that they're just gonna find and round up all the sorcerers and ship them off to a far-off bumfuck nowhere. Have them live out their lives there with some collars that prevent them from using source. So with no source around, Voidwoken shouldn't come. And the game starts with you waking up on a ship to that bumfuck nowhere with the collar around your neck. So, yeah, just to kind of recap that. The Divine is dead. The Voidwoken are back, and they're trying to either eat all source in the world or destroy it. Either way, they're attracted to source. You are a sorcerer. You've been captured by the Magisters and being shipped off to an island in the middle of nowhere with a collar around your neck that prevents you from using any source. Now, since then, as you can see, we are off that island, and we do not have the collars around our necks. I don't know how much more you want to know, because that's how much you should know by the end of the intro cinematic. And this is my first time playing it. And we are 62 hours into this playthrough, and this is, like, I'm guessing kind of close to the end of Act 2 out of, like, 6. Yeah, so the big main quest is kind of... It's a lot of intertwining things, but the general theme is trying to stop the Voidwoken from bringing everything into the Void. But because of that, people like it kind of treat the void as like hell would in our lexicon. So it's like damn you to the void instead of damn you to hell. As I was just saying before I started that, everyone, like half the people I meet just somehow know you're a sorcerer. You don't look any different from other people. They just either like sense it or they smell it. Whatever. I guess a minor spoiler. The Magisters have trained hounds to actually smell source itself. So like they have hounds that can tell if you're a sorcerer or not just by your smell alone. And there's one guy I came across, a human, who has been around Source for so long that he too can just smell Source. Which was weird bluffing my way out of him. Because I just told him I was a sorcerer hunter. And that's why I reeked to Source, because I just kill a lot of sorcerers. Half true?
I am well versed in such things. I, my brothers and sisters, studied the wondrous, the arcane, the malignant. Easier to fight evil forces when you understand them.
And when it comes to dialogue, here, there's a lot of things that influence your options. So these tags actually dictate, in part, what you can say in conversation. It's like your race dictates it, other tags like your background, as well as your attributes too affect persuasion, along with the persuasion skill itself. So you don't actually need to invest in persuasion. Investing in persuasion makes it a lot easier, but you don't need it necessarily. And then also based on what you've done in the past, as well as most I've done in the past influences what you can choose, and lost my train of thought. All right, and that the NPCs actually have like reactions to what you say, which means if you say the wrong thing, so like going through all the options isn't always a good idea in this game. It is in Oblivion or Skyrim where you just want to get all the info, but here, if you say the wrong thing to someone, they could just stop talking to you, or they could even outright attack you. So like you have to. So it's the same deal with persuasion too, where you just have to pick and choose your words carefully, even if the persuasion plays onto your highest stat. May not be the right thing to say.
Corrupt things have long stalked the fringes of our world. Demons. Here we sought to help those who fell prey to the foul creatures.
Oh, and how dialogue works. Oh yeah, it does. It also means that you can go through it, because there are like, I think there are like either 6 or 8 different background tags you can choose, and you pick 2 in character creation. And the other 2 come from your gender and your race, and the rest of them you pick up from gameplay. So you can go through with a lot of different dialogue options. Like, if in here is a preset, you can actually play as any of the preset characters, like if on here. And if you don't choose to play as them, then they appear in the Act 1, and you can recruit them to your party. So you can play as them or play with them, or not. I have a custom character who has no preset background, because that's my first time. I'll just be myself. I'd look through my tags, but I can't while I'm in conversation. Because how you look through multiple characters, you bring up the tab, then you filter your character, but that just goes back to dialogue. But multiplayer, if someone else is in the conversation, doesn't actually drag everyone into it. Instead, you can go around and do what you want while they're talking, but you actually walk up to them, or you can click on their portrait in the upper left, which I can't quite do with the gamepad controls, but with a mouse you can. With controller, you can actually click on them, either with this free cursor, so when you're halfway across the map, you can click on them, or just go up next to them and hit A, and then you can listen to their conversation. Which I find that to be really cool, because now it's not like you're always moving at that one person's pace. Like, each of your do things at your own pace in the same game. Oh, and knowledge that one person knows isn't actually shared with the rest of the group. Where if you talk with some guy about an organization, the other guys in your party, unless they were there to hear it, they don't know that information either. So it's also kind of important to have the right people talk to the right people.
He casts another rueful look over the mounds of dead.
No more.
The spirit utters a sigh. Even after having parted from his body, he retains a heavy heart.
This island was once a place of learning, of healing. We were Rivellon's sword and shield against the demons who preyed upon the weak. One of our number, a doctor, brought an invalid before us. An elven maiden who had become infested with some presence. It was powerful. Too powerful. So we sealed it and the poor elf it inhabited in our deepest vaults. Sometimes incarceration was the best we could muster in such dire cases. But the doctor who found her was determined to make a name for himself. He attempted a cleansing ritual, but he only served to strengthen the demon's grasp over the elf. The demon possessed him. Soon the whole island was overrun with monstrosities and bathed in blood. Our blood. It's a corrupt place now. No good thing has cause to be here. The statues guard the vaults where we kept those who were beyond help. No ritual could cleanse them of the dark forces that infested them, so we sealed them away. We did not use such cruelty lightly. There was no other choice. The statues guard the path. They will grant passage to those who sing from the hymn book, from the archives.
Okay, so my character is a barbarian scholar, which is just what I have like a picture just to highlight how dichotomous those two can be. I just have to find my Steam screenshot folder. Like, I always pick scholar because that's just in line with who I am, and the second tag was like someone who just won't take shit from the world. Cool, found it first try. Because you have to find, because they're all named after numbers, you just have to find. Here it is. First try too. So yeah, as a scholar, use that by the room shape. You can tell you're on a Lucian class frigate, but why? Or barbarian, grunt that you've never seen a wooden cave before. What is this place? In the same breath, you can be completely stupid or completely smart. Other stuff was there. Oh, right. Other things. And search and radius. Enthusiasm on a weekday? My word. Yeah, there's some good writing in this game. And it's almost entirely fully voice acted. I'd say there's scant few lines I've come across that are unvoiced. It's usually like the lines from the cost you for pickpocketing that are unvoiced, and other than that, I have not come across any unvoiced lines. So I'll say it's 99% voiced in this game. Which is pretty impressive for this level of vocab, of this level of writing. I'd just minimize it.
Brother Amant, bless your spirit.
And there's even a narrator, of course, that you've already should have seen and heard. Oh yeah. Float intellect playthroughs. I don't think you could do that in Skyrim, but I know that like in earlier Fallouts and New Vegas, any Obsidian game, your stupid character can actually say really stupid stuff. Yeah, like barbarian, a lot of the time, either it's you act stupid, or you're just like, shut up, draw your weapon, and you cut them down. It's like, shut up before I slice you in two. Actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not shut up before I slice you two, it's shut up and I slice you in two. Like do you happen to know what the fine for necrophilia is in this part of Tamriel? Where are we on it? Oh, we've already gone around most of the perimeter. This island felt it would be a bit larger than it actually was. No souls here. Oh, here's a soul.
The howling. How can you bear it?
The spirit cocks his head and covers his ears, hoping to muffle screams that only he can hear.
The ancestor tree. The screams came to me on the wind, though I am not sure the devil's breath that perturbs the air here can rightly be called wind. But they've been silenced. A druid. There are too few of us. Elfkind finds value in flesh where memory lingers. I collect memories, yes, but I am more keen on bark and leaf. On the living breeze, not the sleeping past.
Alright, so yeah, there are racial differences that are on top of just different dialogue options. You also get different racial bonuses, like lizards are a bit better at persuasion. They're a bit better at... Dwarves in this, they aren't the hard-working sort that you think you see in other high fantasy. Yeah, like dwarves in this setting are... You could describe them very aptly with the phrase thick as thieves. In that they'll sooner pick your pocket and bash your skull than forge you a weapon. These are not like the Smiths of the Mountains. They are little drunk midgets. Well, they look like your classic fantasy dwarves, but they act more like a nation of outlaws. Ah, that's pretty good. Alright, where was I? Before the packet loss. Right, more like a nation of outlaws. And... Pizza. Yeah, it's just the dwarves are very nationalistic. They swear unyielding fealty to their country. But, like, on an individual basis, they are the drunkest bastards, and they are bastards before they are drunk you will ever meet. So they get bonuses to stealth and pickpocketing. Then we have humans that get a bonus to bartering as well as to crit rate, which is nice. And elves. Elves have a very unique thing, which is the fact that elves in this game can eat the flesh of others to gain their memories. So, you know, you come across a murder scene, you eat the victim, you know who killed them. I think either one, Alyssa. Just doesn't pizza make peace?
Well, yes. I have kept my ears to the ground, ghostly they may be. This is an archive, a library devoted to history and scholarship. There must be a record there of the elf that spawned the corrupted tree. I can't say where its entrance lays. The whispers that speak of the archive are all but drowned by my ancestors' grief.
It's fantastic. Also nice about this is, yeah, you can scroll up the conversations. Also, when you're done, you can go into your journal and reread the whole thing. Is this all my conversation? No, this is like a certain number of conversations. Profoundness of pizza. Yeah, I like pineapple and I like pizza, but pineapple on pizza, the flavors just contrast themselves so much, I don't like it. But I've spoken with someone who does like pineapple on pizza, and they're like, that contrasts exactly why it's wonderful. So, different taste buds for different people, I guess. I just don't like mayo in general. I probably wouldn't like mayo on pizza. Where the hell is I going? Oh, another stat. How many statues have I busted open? You clearly like mayo.
You should go from here. This is no place for the living, for this demon gluts itself on pain. Only the utmost torture would draw him forth. I couldn't do it. I refused to subject myself or my comrades to such barbarism. If you've the stomach for such an ungodly task, I won't keep you from it. Perhaps you could inflict the pain that's needed. But it is a devil's business. We broke the lever for the door when we locked him inside, so that none would ever attempt to free him.
Alright, let's attempt to exorcise the demon. I think there's like roughly 4 of these demons, maybe 5 on the island, so...
The lever part of the lock mechanism seems to be missing. There is no prise with which to open the door.
Alright, let's stick a lever in there, yes.
It's not working! There's something to this I'm not seeing. It's not working! There's something to this I'm not seeing.
If I turn the brazier off...
It's not working! There's something to this I'm not seeing.
I remember one of the books mentioning braziers. So maybe I have to turn them all off.
The chains bind their captive.
It's not working! There's something to this I'm not seeing.
Mac and cheese pizza sounds delightful, and maybe I've had that in the past. Exactly. For me, generally speaking, I'm just, if I like 2 things, then having them together should also be good. So I'm not that opposed to having weird combinations. It's just, some of those weird combinations don't turn out to be good. Like pineapple and pizza.
You should go from here. This is no place for the living, for the sane. My vigil is eternal. It won't cease until I'm convinced, truly convinced. Something might change for the better. For now, we remain as we must, stuck between action and inaction. Watching, waiting.
So I either have to consume this guy's soul or convince him to let me through.
As the levers fixed, perhaps you could extract him. But you'd have to be able to contain him, defeat him once he'd been loosed. Who am I to say if you're prepared for that?
Exactly, that's my philosophy. But as you can see here with the persuasions, different stats influence them, but also each of these have different difficulty thresholds. So like, just because memory is my highest stat of these three doesn't mean it'll be the easiest. Huh. I'd try both kinds of sauces, personally. Like, I just get plain pizza and then just dump mac and cheese on it and eat that. That also sounds good. Actually, frick, I might have had that before. What you just described. Like, at college, I may have served it once. It was definitely delicious. Not enough persuasion.
I don't think so. What you're asking is the potential to loose a demon. Who knows what damage it might cause. No, I won't end my vigil over the door. You shan't pass.
Alright, what the heck's the stats? Oh, yeah, there. It's 6. Ow. Oh, yeah, that's definitely... If Ed says the same thing, he should win, right?
A trembling spirit wrings his hands, his eyes darting around.
What are you doing here? What do you want? One must not mean harm to do it. My vigil is eternal. It won't cease until I'm convinced, truly convinced. Something might. As the levers fixed, you could perhaps...
Alright, I'll try the same thing, because Ifan has maxed finesse. It reduced the needed threshold, but it was still a failure.
I don't think so. No, I won't. Please, you must go. This is no place for you. I don't think so. No. This is a delicate matter. Exceedingly so.
Yeah, college has some awesome aspects to it.
My vigil is eternal. It won't cease until I'm convinced, truly convinced. Something might change for the better. For now, we remain as we must, stuck between action and inaction. Watching, waiting.
Alright, I'm gonna try a few different persuasions options, because you only get one chance without safe scumming it. Because even though I tried finesse, because that seemed like the most reasonable persuasion, but didn't make the cut. I'm not quite sure what a Hawaiian roll is.
You should go from here. This is no place for the living, for the sane. This demon glut. If you've this, we broke the lever for the door.
His hand.
As I planned, so I better once.
Alright. See, before I put the lever in.
The lever part.
There it is.
Nothing. There's got to be more to it.
You should go from here. My vigil is eternal. It won't. As the levers fixed, you could.
Alright.
Perhaps you could extract him. But you'd have to be able to contain him, defeat him, once he'd been loosed. Who am I to say if you're prepared for that?
Oh yeah. College was also the first time I had tartar sauce on any kind of fish, and that was just amazing. Gosh. Like, when I hear tartar sauce, I assume, because it has tar in the name, it'd be black, but no, it's like, it's white. It's like pure white with some little specks in it, but you put it on fish, and it's just... Gosh, that tastes awesome. Yeah, speaking of, my mom's making cookies, muffins, or bread tomorrow. I forget. She's making banana something tomorrow. Either banana muffins or banana bread. Maybe banana cookies. Anywho, I'll try memory, because that's my highest stat. It worked! I just lied through my teeth. I've done 0 exorcisms. Unless you count killing demons. Then that counts.
I suppose the alternative is no better than trusting you. Go, do what you can.
Look at you. Handsome. Handsome. Come close, won't you? A little closer still. My, how long it's been. How very, very long it's been. Would you believe Brother Calvin locked me up in here because he said I was possessed by a demon? Just because I don't feel pain. Have you ever heard anything so superstitious? Well, they didn't look like me, did they? Maybe I was a little kooky back then, but you'd be amazed how sobering millennia of imprisonment can be. Praise the 7, right? Praise the 7, that's all over.
Yeah, he's still possessed. I mean, not only just because his name is Possessed Dwarf, but also, like, the dwarf wouldn't live for millennia. And he struggles to say the 7's name, even indirectly.
His mouth twists in an ugly snarl as he stutters that last sentence, and a flicker of something unrecognizable, yet malevolent, flashes across his gaunt face.
What the frick? Yeah, it's been... I'm not sure if if I had corn dogs, it would have been like 15 years ago at the earliest. I know I don't like mustard, because that causes a minor allergic reaction. It doesn't seize up my throat, but it makes my throat feel like it's seizing up. So I really don't like mustard. Kind of feels like your throat constricts, but I have no trouble breathing. Just feels like it's constricted.
You are here to free me, right?
The dwarf's face becomes calm, serene even. He looks into your eyes, tranquil as a baby lamb.
Well then, just destroy the pillars. Nothing to it, for one not wrapped in chain.
Alright, as Calvin had proclaimed earlier, the way to go about this would be to smack his ass until...
Leave me here, would you?
Hmm.
You're not going to walk away, are you? Are you?
I don't really care about saving the dwarf. I'm gonna be honest. I know nothing about this guy. You rearm, attack, retreat.
Hey, come on. Don't act like I'm not here. As you strike him, the dwarf's face changes, becomes softer somehow. He almost looks like a different person. When he speaks, his voice is quieter, more reserved.
Yeah, chicken Alfredo burger actually does sound pretty good.
Yes. Please. Release me from him. The pain. I can take it. But he can't.
Oh, chicken Alfredo lasagna.
The dwarf's face flickers and changes, becoming hot red and enraged.
What are you doing? Stop it! Stop it now! Stop it and destroy the pillars!
Alright, I don't think I need to be down here. Poop back up. And then just move to...
This is almost over. Bloody prison. This bloody body. This bloody prison. This bloody body.
Is he dead? I think I'll reload this and just shoot him a new one and stop right before he dies. See what that comes of that. I changed my mind. I'll see if I can actually save the dwarf. Alright, first thing first, spirit vision. I could Phoenix dive down there, but that's a bit of AoE damage. Alright, let's pop that up. Just in case his spirit or the demons pops out.
You're not going to walk away, are you? Are you? This is almost over. Destroy the pillars.
Alright, we're just gonna have to shoot his ass.
This close air. I got it straight.
See?
Are you going to traipse about this place for an aeon? Free me.
No, I will shoot you in the face.
Bloody prison. This bloody body.
And I was gonna have some ice cream here tonight, but you guys just wanted me to have that even sooner, just to sate my new hunger.
Come on. Don't act like I'm not here. Let me out. Let me out, or I'll turn you inside out.
Alright, let's shoot him some more.
Bloody prison. This bloody body. Let me out. Let me.
Let's see if I can... Alright, now seems like a pretty decent time to maybe destroy these. So I'm gonna just Phoenix dive down here. Oh, I don't hurt the pillar. Cool. Now here's my question. Does that... Oh, it does eat into durability. Motherfucker. healing, fuck it. And then switch to him. And then just smash everything. Oh wow, he's actually alive, and oh man, we are not doing too hot down here, huh? Cursed ice, I see. Well, let's start by blessing ourselves. That also uncurses the ice. At least for now, they could recurse it after all. And give him some protection. Yeah, when I went out to ice cream earlier, I think just yesterday there was like nobody in the store except for the clerk. So, eh. And now you get to see some combat. So this is a very laborious affair. It's tactical and strategic. How do you want to make the best use of your AP and all that? The terrain you're standing on is important, especially for a summoner, because whatever I summon it on is the element. So I'm just got neutral element summons because no terrain's good right now. If things get really bad, I could cryogenist. His phys armor's low, but his health is kind of high. I think I'll smack him with a bit of healing.
Go on. It feeds me. I like it.
You have a masochist demon. Oh. Nice nether swap, huh? Oh, it... Oh. It possessed Ifin. That's... Oof. Alright, let's see. Demonic Invasion. I don't think I've had Crispitos. Oh, taquitos? Taquitos I've had. Yeah, I've... Like a long time ago, I used to have some store-bought taquitos. Like the ones that you microwave. I mean, he doesn't have the high ground, which is nice, but like, he was blessed too. Oh, and oh, no, he wasn't blessed. I was blessed. Ugh. No, his armor's still up. That shackle's not going to do much. Let's set up another wood totem. How the hell am I going to get him out without killing Ben Mezd? I could charm him. That would be neat. Alright, let's just encourage them. And that's all I can think of to do that doesn't send me straight down there. totems. Then, of course, knock down. So how in the frick? I mean, I don't want to kill him, because I really like him as a character. That's why I chose him as my one single traveling companion. He gave the best first impression, and he's been great so far. So I really don't want to kill him, but at the same time I do have resurrection scrolls, so I guess it's kind of alright to kill him, and maybe the demon will resurrect him when it pops out. Alright, so we pop that up, so we have 3 totems. I'm gonna pop Persisting, which will be great. I could maybe bless the demon out of him, and that's really a maybe. He's out of... Oh, that guy just popped out of sight of me. Ugh. This is going to be tough, so we need to keep our magic armor up, otherwise we'll get possessed, huh? What skills to even use? Should I even give him Death Resist? Oh, I'll find out a bit later. What skill to use now, though? Make him... Oh, right. Give myself wings. Just drink a can of Red Bull. Then give him the attack. Okay, so nearly killing my companions brings them out. That's fine. Oh, fucking hell, demonic man. The hair. I mean, I can just resummon my incarnate, so that's... Oh, fuck, it has persisting. I don't even... Yeah. Of 3 incarnate. I freaking... Eesh. No, not that. Here we kind of are, yes. Please tell me I can... Okay, yes. Just one little iota. Now then, I want to buff this next attack as much as I can. So, Encourage. Do a little bit of health back. Peace of Mind. And finally Sky Shot for that little bit of bonus damage. glad you two are getting along, especially since I've been so focused on this, I haven't been able to really keep up. I get it's about fried foods. Oh shit, he took care of the... Fucking bloody hell, he took out... Ugh, Ben Mez is possessed again. Well, I am charming you back into my team. You're not under my control anymore, but whatever. Fucking bloody hell. I'm gonna have to move like 1 AP out. And then do flight. Or maybe instead of flight I do Phoenix dive. That should hit him. I don't have the 1 AP left to actually like smack his ass, but alright, it still is there. Oh, it fucking nether swapped us. God, this thing has too much AP. Okay, Ben Mez is dead. Let's just pop that on you.
The dwarf moves his jaw at odd angles, as though he's unused to speaking.
Does sound pretty good. Yeah, for me when it comes to meat with bones, usually tastes a lot better than boneless meat, but when you actually get to eating around the bone, that's always a hassle, especially with under the rib cage.
Is it me? I can speak. It's my voice. My word.
His mouth tightens into a joyfully awkward smile.
Thank you so much. I owe you everything. There's just one thing I can think of. I hid some things here. Things I didn't want the priests to take. Let me show you. I had a spot near the place where they buried the others. I hope there's something there you can use. Thank you so much. So much.
And he's gone. Well, I have used up all of my source apparently. Oh yes, of course it would. I blessed myself, and then I cast Circle of Protection, and then I did Door of Eternity. Yeah, that adds up to 3 points.
You've done it. I can hardly believe it. So long it's been the length of millennia within these stone walls. You did what I could not. This peace I feel, like every knot in my soul were unwound. I'm going up. Thank you.
I'm gonna need more silver bars. As well as more corpses to feed on.
The chill of the vault seems even colder for what you have just witnessed.
Better to kill a man honestly than to lock him up with a demon for eternity.
I kinda agree with that. And we come out right by some corpses, so that's nice. Why is that green? There we are. All right. So I need to find more statues of things. Oh, this is where we entered with the...
You are a guest no longer. You are meat, and Master has had his fill. Leave!
The brute doesn't utter a word. His rabid stare and husky panting say enough.
My master has lost interest in you, but I have not. Leave, my darling, while you still can.
See, they're not outwardly hostile to me, but they are verbally hostile. Alright. Time for person number 2. Honestly, I feel like the later in the night I do these streams, the less packet loss I get, as well as the less potential interruptions from them at home. While no one is barged in, I know for a fact that all their stomping and door slamming gets picked up by the mic just reverberating through the ground and into the desk. So I might push the streams later, and I'd like to know if that's okay with you, or how much later is okay. I'm doing this hope, I'm suggesting this on the hope that it would increase the quality of the stream.
The lever part of the lock mechanism seems to be missing. There is no prize with which to open the door.
Alright, let's see. Where is the other lever? Down towards the bottom.
A presence accosts you. You cannot see it, yet know it is there. It is in front of you, then behind, then finally within. You hear its whispers. The master must teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. And then it is gone.
Nothing. There's got to be more to it.
I watch the gate. Who goes there? I watch the gate. Who goes there? You must leave. The one who must be chained will take your soul. Do not let it speak. Do not let it speak to you. No. You must leave. You must not speak to it. You must not speak to the one who must be chained. It will steal your soul. It will steal your very soul.
Oh.
No, you are one of it. You must be chained. You must be chained. You must be chained.
The lever part of the... A presence of... You...
I watched the gate. You must know. You must leave. No, you are...
I don't quick load because my experience with every quick save and quick load system is it has a tendency to corrupt if you use it too much, especially quick load, so I'm a load instead of quick load, but I will quick save.
I watched the gate. I watched the... You must leave. No, you...
Alright, that's not gonna work.
The spirit of a priest...
I watched the gate. Who goes there? You must leave. No, you must leave. You must not speak to it. You must not speak to the one... No, you...
I don't think we can persuade this guy. Welcome back. So I don't think I can persuade this one mad lad to let me open the door. Or I tried all three options myself, so now try it. As...
You must leave. No, you must leave. You must not speak to it. You must not speak to the one who must be chained. It will steal your soul. It will steal your very soul.
Watered down insulation.
No, you...
Alright, we have only one option left. All of our... Yeah. Nah, I'll do it for conversation.
I watched the gate. Who goes there? You must leave. No, you must leave. You must not speak to it. You must not speak to the one who must be chained. It will steal your soul. It will steal your very soul.
See, we're too short. I need, like, 4 more strength, or 2 more persuasion.
No, you...
Oh, we're very close to level up. Okay, I think I will save this for later. Well, very close to level up doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get one soon, because I have no idea how often XP comes. It just comes when it does. But that bar is almost full. That's a lot of XP though, 70,000. But with that I can put a couple more points into strength. Actually, do I happen to... Let's do strength. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna drop that there and go back to town.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
He's got a holy hand grenade.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
What can we sell? Oh, that's donation. I need to sell, not donate. Alright, that's all the stuff marked as wares. Let's see about getting things identified. Alright. That's all of the equipment we had, so let's sort it. Let's see what we got. Neither of us use daggers, so into wares they go. Wolf hide armor. It seems like it'd be a... That's probably not worth it. That's definitely not worth it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Wits and Scoundrel. Ooh, this could be good. Alright, and this one is power connected summoning. That'll be good. I don't know what ended the week, but by the end of this playthrough, that could very well be possible. I don't know how the economy in this is balanced, but I know to loot everything. So yeah. Alright, he's good. Thievery. Bartering. That's even better.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
What kind of rat will sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Alright, let's see, it was this one. Some wits and scoundrel. That's good. So scoundrel increases move speed, so even if you don't use dagger, it still is a nice thing to have. And there's a summon plus one with pyrokinetic, which is not worth the trade-off for any of these. Or is it? Add yourself as a geomancer for... Oh, that's like 40 magic armor. No, thank you. Huntsman and oh, okay, that's a weird combo. I made that cash by selling it myself for the most part. Only like a mil or so I made with the steward. He was nice until I realized I'm not trading mercantile by doing that, so I got back to it. It's like, strength is good for melee attack, which I am, but Huntsman is purely ranged attacks, which is what Ifin is. Retribution is good for melee fighters, which I am, and Pyrokinetic is good for Ifin because he's got Pyrokinetic points vested. It's like a perfect half and half split for which one of us this will be best for. Weird necklace. Wait, not. There we are, equipment tab. Alright, now we can scrap those. Sneaking.
Tell me, have you heard
Those go in the trash.
Nothing good. Avoid woken or everywhere.
These ones also going in the trash.
Thank the divine you're here to protect.
That one in the trash.
Yes.
I don't come visit your ton. Who will?
Yeah, this one in the trash too. Okay, so just have this one ring and like an axe or two. How's this stack up to my current? Oh, that's just flat out better. Except for, unless you factor in the strength of two-handed and the initiative. Eh.
How you holding up?
Yeah, possibly. Although, a lot of the stuff that I give to them, especially to the alchemist assistant, is way more than anyone could ever carry in that game with normal weight limits. So I'm thinking that instead they probably use like an array or something else to kind of store a list of what you have. And they just remove it from your stuff and then they add it to the containers. Because you can do that. You can actually cycle through everything in your inventory, in a player's inventory, and remove it and put it in another container in the same iteration of the for each loop. So it's probably like when it comes to pick it up, they'll activate a script which will then say remove the items, add some kind of gold value to a total, then after a certain time delay will add that gold total to the chest. I haven't looked at it. I could look at it because I have the construction set open, but it's how one way they could do it.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Yeah, so the thing was like, this gives me 20% more crit rate, which isn't too big of a deal because I have Enrage, which gives me 100% crit rate whenever I want to actually go ham. But it gives me cleave damage, so that's nice, and that splash damage has an empty slot, so I can increase damage further. It has hands down more base damage, but the current one I've got gives me +3 strength and +6 initiative. I have 32 initiative. Lose a lot of that. That basically means I go first with this sword versus going like third without it. You know what, I'll compare it. So 253, 270. Yeah, that's way higher damage. Wait, is it higher level? Accuracy is 95, so yeah, it's level 15 weapon. Level 14 weapon. It's Knights of the Nine Revelation.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Then we put the root into there. So now we just get way more damage. 324 to 372. Oh, that's just big ass damage.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Alright, let's do some rune combining. We can we? Do we have enough runes to make large? Yeah, again, I streamed it. I put it into its own separate playlist because that's real nice. It was a really good mod. So I need to make a large masterwork rune, which requires 2 medium masterwork runes and pixie dust. And I've got pixie dust, but no medium masterwork runes. And I can make those out of the small masterwork runes, but I only have 2 of them. I need 4 total. I like 3 of them. I only have 4 total. So let's make one. Wait, am I actually out of them completely now? No, I got one. Small masterwork rune.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Oh, I need a live wood log.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Alright, let's separate. Get you back to the ship. I may have live wood in here. I may not have live wood in here. Alright, let's see. What isn't empty? Oh, frags. And glowing eye. What, the ship we're on now? I mean, kinda. You don't actually directly control it, though. At least, not like you would in, say, Assassin's Creed 4. Oh, fuck. Accidentally hit Y. Well, that makes things a little easier to check, yeah? Seriously, where is the wood? I could have swore we come across some of it before. Well. Well, I ain't played it, but I'm just saying you do control a ship directly in that. You don't do it like that in here. I'll look up where to get live wood. I rarely look things up because I don't want spoilers, so... Oh, vendors. Okay, I should be able to buy it then. Alright, now I think there was a logger we got on this ship pretty recently. Okay, there's those guys. Where else is that? Look at that logger be.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
And over here is... Ah, here we are.
Corbin, the Fletcher you rescued from Roost Anon at the Culwood Mills, sparks to life at the sight of you and breaks into a great grin.
Oh yeah? Oh, I mean, hey, how are you? All settled in myself? Can't tell you how glad I am to be here. And thank you for bringing me. I feel it, you know? I really do. By all means.
Ooh, let's see, anything I don't know? Probably not, because we have so much cash, I tend to buy new skill books as soon as I see them. Alright, he doesn't have live wood, does he? Okay.
Back for a return visit? Have I got yourself situated? Yep.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Oh, here's some live wood. And it's expensive.
Until late.
But with that, we can now make a small rune. And then make a medium masterwork rune. Right, because I don't have enough, so medium. And make a large. And there we have it. Now I'm back to normal physical armor. At least what I had before. Yeah, runes doing alright. Honestly, feels like it should be about the end of the stream. It's been going on for like 3.5 hours.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of wires. Who to dump all this on? I was about yep guy. Yeah, it's 0:30 here.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Oh, we're definitely selling that.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving. Along with the rest
Keeping it together, Bree.
It's all well and good for you.
I'm all right, as long as I don't.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he's out of cash.
Yep.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Alright, that's roughly it then.
Until later then.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Alright, so let's see if we can reach. Yes, we can. I like these pyramids. I mean, you know I'm going to continue this after stream. So, depends how much you want to see the resolution to this. So probably come back in after this is all over and done with. If I play it tomorrow night. I don't know. I say I don't know because I'll play this by default because I really like this game. But for something else you want to see.
From stone to dust, from stone to dust.
Oh, I'll look for another statue. I wonder if all the rot will go away.
The blazing blue flame seems to burn your finger the moment you touch the statue, and you yank it back in pain. Somehow, though, your skin is unblemished, yet the discomfort remains.
If human scholar stuff. But we'll sing the hymnal.
The hymn twines around the effigy like a fine thread. Guardian burning bright with sourceful flame, abide the sacred call, reveal the godsless hall. Winged keeper, song doth bid you break. The priest shall scry the demon's lies, the chains await their captive. From stone to dust, from stone to dust.
Alright, good night, Tobit. Guess that means this is where we'll call it. So thank you very much for watching. Assuming you don't ask for something else, this is where we'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, this game is what we'll pick up with tomorrow night. Not necessarily right at this spot, though.